Welcome back to the Southern California Golf Show podcast. Pete Fox, Marc Lecair, and now we're joined by Brett Massingham from Cleveland Golf. And quite honestly, Brett, I'll be honest with you, this is my favorite segment of the day. I am a complete golf technology geek. I sit there and I read Golf Magazine. I read about all the specs and the technology and what's involved with swing weights and grips and heads and shaft angle, because I think really that it's going to make me a better golfer. Now, for someone who's as horrible as Marc is at
I don't
golf,
even know why you're bringing me into this based on your game. Are you absolutely kidding me right now?
Well, I'm thinking that, here's the thing that's interesting about technology, and more importantly, get it fitted, and this is what Brett's going to explain to us. It can make someone even as horrible as you into a decent golfer. Tell us a little bit about, Brett, how and what specifically goes into the fitting and why it makes someone 5, even 10 strokes better. Is that safe to say?
Right. A good fit will take away the guesswork in picking a golf club. Most people will come to a golf shop, grab a golf club, says stiff flex on it, and take it out and try it.
And quite often they do that not knowing whether they need stiff or regular.
Exactly. Or their loft is off. They're not sure. If you can come to the Cleveland Golf Scoring Center, we can get you on the computer. We check for launch conditions, club head speed, ball speed, and that helps me fit you for the proper driver. As a fitter and a driver fitting, I'm looking for a perfect launch. There's a parameters. Let's say 12 to 15 degrees on your launch. Backspin numbers have to be within a certain range as well. So if we can maximize your launch and kind of maximize and minimize your spin, we're going to guarantee you're going to carry the ball a lot farther.
It honestly is so technically involved. You wouldn't even believe it. Last time I was here, I got fitted by Cleveland, and within 12 to 16 strokes, they increased my distance by about 20 to 25 yards. Now that's here in the simulator. Practical application's probably not going to be that much, but even if you increase your drive by 15 yards, that's a significant amount.
Well, a properly fit driver, if I can increase your club head speed by 1 mile an hour, that's 3 more yards in distance. So if you give me 30 minutes of your time to come in and get properly fit for a driver, I can increase your club head speed, which will then, on the golf course, increase your distance that you're hitting the golf ball.
One of the other things, Marc, that's interesting is that, like he was talking about backspin. That's not something you really even think about. The ball hits the fairway if it's spinning the right way.
Well, that's it. That's how you make it stick on the green, of course, correct?
Right. When you're hitting a driver, you want it to hit and release.
Sure.
So if it has too much backspin for a driver, it hits and stops. If you have not enough backspin, the ball will take off and hit the ground too early. So we're limiting your carry distance based upon your backspin. So we really chase that backspin and that launch number a lot in this booth.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, that's one of those things, Pete. Sorry about that, but it's one of those things where you're sitting there, you're watching it at home, and everybody that's an amateur, it goes out and plays once a month, sits there and goes, "How do they make it stop like that?
Right.
How does it stop like that?
How does it roll so far?"
Right.
Mine rolls forever. Theirs is stopping, and yet somehow you figured out a way to help us out.
Right. The computer in the scoring center here, the Game Changer, the launch monitor, we call it, it helps me immensely. And I can fit a person, I know in my mind after about 10 swings where I'm going to generally go. Now, with Cleveland, we have 3 different weight drivers. We have the right weight system. We have the TL310. It's a 440cc. We have a 59-gram shaft. We have an SL290 with a 43-gram shaft, and we have an XL270 with a 39-gram shaft. Now, we as a company realize not everyone should play the same driver. So we have a tour driver, the TL, and then we have the XL and the SL. Now, we've had great success with all of these drivers, but we realize that if we can increase their club head speed, that will help in distance. And those numbers, the TL310, that's 310 grams total weight, grip, shaft, and head. That's the exact weight of that golf club, and down to the XL270.
One of the things that was interesting I found out about the weighting with regard to swing speed is it doesn't necessarily mean you have to swing harder. You just have to swing more efficiently. And you hear pros all the time talk about the fact that probably 2 to 3 shots an entire round, they just let loose and let the shaft out of it and go at it 100%, which I found to be interesting. I thought it was more like 50 or 60% of the time. They'd swing as hard as they can only 2 or 3 times an entire round, and that's usually probably when they're not in a good position, maybe in the weeds or something, when they got to get out of it.
That's after a bogey.
Right. So I found that to be interesting because I feel like I swing the club with everything I got most of the time, but when you back off a little bit, you get more distance because you're swinging more efficiently. And I found by doing that in here, it created more distance for me. And The other thing I found to be really interesting was that the first couple of clubs I hit were pretty similar to my current driver.
Sure.
You know, right around 240 yards, a little left to right.
Sure.
Then the second driver I picked up, it took away 20 or 30 yards. It was that wrong for me.
Right.
And then the last one added about 20 yards. So it really did zero in on what I needed based on, you know, my swing.
But the key with the fit is we want to get a shaft to load and unload properly into the golf ball. That's one of the big keys, and that's why we have 3 different weights in those. If you have a faster golf swing and you load the shaft real hard, a heavier shaft, 59-gram shaft, will help you do that. If you have a slower club head speed, the 39-gram shaft will load and unload much more efficient at the golf ball at the proper time, and that's where we're going to see massive increases in distance.
All right, now that's all generally dealing with drivers.
Correct.
You also fit irons
Yes,
here.
we do.
And you have a very new, fancy, state-of-the-art machine called a Scuba.
Self-contained universal bending apparatus.
Okay, now
That
show
thing
us.
looks like I'm getting ready for my next optometry appointment. I can't wrap my brain around what you've got going on over here, Brad.
This is the first machine that can be physically brought to a driving range or brought into my fitting stall, and I can fit a gentleman or a lady instantly. I can have them hit some golf balls, get some numbers, and realize that, hey, that loft is a little bit off. I can walk back, and about 30 to 40 seconds, I can bring that club back to her, and it's bendable. Everything is done right on site instantly, so there's no waiting. Oh, we have to send the clubs to the company, and they have to bend them and send them back. This is done with a jack, a hydraulic jack, so they're not going to break. Before, we used to physically do it. They used to be mounted to the ground. This machine is fully mobile. It can go anywhere I need to go.
Give me a little bit of the specs on what Loft and Lie can do for your swing to improve it, and then also take away from it.
Sure. A properly fit golf club will sole into the ground perfect. If a club is too flat, the toe will hit. It actually opens the club up at impact. The ball will go right. If the club is too upright, the heel will hit. The club will close. The ball will go left. 9 out of 10 people that I've seen come through the scoring center, their clubs, their lie angles do not fit their specs.
Okay, so it's not that they're just bad golfers.
No.
In fact, it's an equipment malfunction.
Absolutely. And, you know, most people just assume that they're standard, and they're not. You know, there's 6'5" guys that need 5 degrees up. There's 5'2" guys that need 4 degrees flat. We can accommodate that with the Scuba machine instantly in the studio here.
Is this a true statement? A lot of times people are playing the wrong clubs, and because they're athletic enough, they can figure out how to make it work, and then therefore affect their swing. So they're trying to adapt their swing.
Absolutely.
Adjust their swing, rather, to fix their screwed up Loft and Lie.
If a guy's got a club that's too flat, he hits fades, he's going to aim at 15, 20 yards left and play the fade. So he's going to kind of mimic kind of a bad swing, kind of manipulated golf swing to get the ball to go left to right. He knows it's going left to right. So he's changing his golf swing. So the key phrase here is you want your clubs to accommodate you. You don't want to have to accommodate your golf clubs. That's where the Scuba comes in handy. We can custom fit from your wedges to your long irons, and even drivers and fairway woods here in the studio. And you can walk out with a good, clean sense of mind that my clubs are fit for me, and now you know that if I make a bad swing, chances are it might be me and not the club.
All right, give us about a minute on the Scuba.
This is our Scuba machine. This is a self-contained universal bending apparatus. This is the first machine, lie and loft machine, that can actually travel onto a golf course, onto a driving range, anywhere you want to take it, and bend clubs instantly. I use it here in the scoring center quite frequently. I get customers that come in, their lies are a little bit off. I say, well, hold on for a second, I can do that for you. I'll show you. We have a digital display, so at this moment, this club's, the lie angle is 63 degrees. So if someone says, well, I think I may need flat. I do a lie test, it comes out they need flat. I push a button, I put a bar on it, I push the button, load it in the machine, push a button, pull the hydraulic jack down, and I can continue to talk to you as I'm doing this. So now I'm adjusting the lie. The key with this machine is this is all digitally displayed. So I'm not looking and guessing where it is. This machine is actually measuring it for me. So it makes my mistakes and it makes me look like a real professional, but this machine's doing all the work for me. So I've now bent this club a couple degrees flat. You can see that that lie angle is actually changing. Now it's at 62 degrees. I'm going to I can pull the bar out. Now I can hand the club back out to the customer. Say, lie angle. One thing that we do when a customer does come in, we give them a little form. We have a lie tape kind of a standard area that we put their original light tape and a new light tape to show them where that golf club is soling. And we also do lie and loft measurements for them. A good thing with Cleveland Golf, they can go online and enter their specs onto our website, and it's always on there forever. So in 2 years, when they want to buy a new set of golf clubs or they've forgotten their lie angles, they can go online and get those lie angles for us. So the key about this is we're trying to get a golf club to sole perfectly square on a flat lie on the bottom of the golf club. If it's too flat, toe's going to hit, club opens up, ball goes right, vice versa. Heel closes, ball goes left.
Brett, it was very interesting. We really appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.